Okay, so Pythagoras' theorem now. All right, this should be a bit of a recap from previously. All right, so 3 lessons on this. First lesson is finding a short side. So let's get the pen going. All right, then let's go. The first thing to do with Pythagoras, isn't it? Before we do the example, is remind us what the theorem actually was. Remember, the theorem says that a squared add b squared equals c squared in a right-angled triangle. Okay, remember C is the hypotenuse, the longest diagonal side, and A and B are the 2 short sides. So this example, label the sides first of all. Okay, this will be C, the longest side. I always call the base B and this one A, but it doesn't matter. A and B can be in any order you want. Okay, so I write the theorem down. A squared add b squared equals c squared. And on right, so a squared is 6 squared. That's 36. B squared is 8 squared, which is 64. Remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So c squared is 100. And now you probably should know, shouldn't you, that something squared is 100. Well, 10 squared is 100. But if you didn't have your calculator, if you didn't know that off by heart, then you could use a calculator, couldn't you? You could just take the square root of 100, but you would get 10 centimeters back. I remember, this wasn't called C, sorry. It was called X. So in this case, X is 10 centimeters. Easy. Example 2, we're going to find side F. So I'll label the sides. So that's C there. I'll call this one B and this one A. And then write the theorem down again like I always do. A squared add B squared equals C squared. A squared is 12 squared, 144. B squared is 5 squared, which is 25. And C squared is A squared add B squared, which is 169. Again, perhaps you know that 13 squared is 169, but if you didn't, no shame. On the calculator, take the square root, and you get C equals 13 centimeters. Well, this was called F, actually, so F is 13 centimeters. Example 3. Again, same sort of thing, right? It's a right angle triangle, so I call that one C, this one B, this one A. Write the theorem down like this. A squared is 15 squared, which is 225. B squared is 80 squared, which is 6,400. Add those together, you get C squared is 6,625. And this time round, okay, you'd have to use the calculator because 6,625 is not a square number. So put this in the calculator, root of 6,025, you get 78. Oh, so let me just double check. Sorry, 6,625, and it root 6,625, you get 81.39. 81.39 meters, and that's the 2dp. And this wasn't called C, was it? It was called G. I think that's a very easy topic there. Okay, so for the main task now, pause the video, have a go at the main task. Once you finish the main task, then unpause the video because the answers will be coming up shortly. Any answers here that aren't whole numbers, round them to 2 decimal places, please. Thank you. Okay, so here are the answers to the main task. So mark what you've done, okay, by pausing the video, and then come back to me for the checking question. Okay, let's look at the checking question then. So a right angle triangle has base 56 centimeters and slant height 83 centimeters. Calculate its vertical height. First thing I'm going to do here, right, is draw this triangle. So it's got base 56. So it's right angled. All right. It's got base 56 centimeters and slant height 83. Remember, the slant height is here, the diagonal height. And I've been asked to find this vertical height, which I might call X then, okay, to help me. So if I label my sides, but this is C, this is B, and that's A. And I write down the formula. A squared add B squared equals C squared. This one's slightly different now, okay, because I don't know what A squared is. I can't work out A squared because I don't know what A is. But I know the B squared I can do. B squared is 56 squared. And 56 squared is 3,136. This time I can actually work out C squared. I can work out 83 squared. So 83 squared is 6,889. And I know that A squared add B squared equals C squared. So what's going to go here then? Okay, how would you find out what number goes there? Something add 3,136 equals 6,889. I think the quickest way you could work this out is to do 6,889, take away 3,136. That's what I would do. All right, so if you do 6,889, take away 3,136, you get 3,753. So A squared is 3,753. Although if you want to just find A, then you will need to take the square root of 3,753. We'll take the root of that. So root of that bit. So the root of, 3,753. Push SD, I get 61.26 centimeters to 2 decimal places. Remember that was called, I called it X. So X is 61.26 centimeters to 2dp. And with that, we're done. So thanks for listening. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.